Okay, not sure if I'm live streaming right now. Okay, so I am. Okay, simple, I guess advanced as well. RedStone tutorial. Okay, so I'm sure everyone knows the basics of redstone, how that's redstone wire, those are the repeaters, and then torches will power it, that's power redstone, lever, and a button, and pressure plates. Pressure plates can go on the ground. And yes, I know, I'm literally starting from the basics. And they do work either way. And then a lever can work on the ground, but a button cannot. You cannot put a button on the ground. Basically, a button is a pressure plate if it goes on the ground. But what you can do is put a block down. You can see it. And it lasts for 0.9 seconds. Which is, I forget how many ticks. Here's one way I can figure out. Alright. Right now this is set to 5 ticks. So what this means is if I were, and I will demonstrate this later, and I'm just going to switch this. I like using sandstone for fill. Alright. What this is called a 1 tick. It always sends 1 tick no matter what you do. And I'll explain it in more detail later. But it's guaranteed that it sends 1 tick. So that's what 1 tick looks like. It's exactly 1 tick. So what I can do is to compare this to a button. Redstone doesn't delay at all. You can only run redstone 12 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. Alright, that's 12 blocks. And I'll put here piston with some blocks on it. That way I can see it. Alright. And then when that pops off, it was moved. Alright. There. It was okay. Well, it moved that one because it didn't pop off. But there, it reached. Now, if I were to move it one farther, and hit the button, it's not going to move this time. This, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, okay, never mind. It's 15 blocks. Sorry. Okay, 15 blocks, and redstone doesn't work anymore. And if you go more than 15, you even need to put a repeater in there, which obviously repeats it as the name says. But a repeater is a diode, meaning it delays, it repeats, and it allows current in one direction. And I can show that by going like this. If I power here, or sorry, let's do this real quick. And I can show you it'll light up in sequence. But if I break this, put this here. If I put power here, it lights it up. But if I put power here, it doesn't. Even if I put redstone here and then light it, it won't go anywhere. No matter what you do, it won't power it. Now, that's really the basics of redstone, and I can think of, other than like, yeah, the absolute basics of redstone. That's what it is. Now, another one, what I'm sure most people do, is the old pressure plate, and then clear this out some. Actually, I want to keep that. The whole pressure plate, and then a door. So you step up and it opens automatically, or maybe the button in the door, the lever in the door, something like that. Where it's just real simple, just gonna touch it. It's gonna keep it and then it's gonna go back or whatever. Either way, whatever you're doing, it's just gonna be really simple. Like maybe that, so it stays open. Alright, now I'm gonna go through a little bit more. In the next one, it's gonna be, I'm gonna show you a clock. Now, most people probably know what a clock is. You've probably used it for like making a rapid fire, whatever. Piston, most likely dispenser. So, this actually works out to be a clock. It's going to be a really slow clock, but it works out. So this is a 20 tick clock. 20 ticks. Each repeater is 4, because it's on its last setting. Now it's a 5 tick clock. You can change it, whatever. And somehow I locked it up. But whatever. There's other clocks, like piston clock, which just uses pistons. Neat. And you can do this either with sticky pistons, which would just be the exact opposite of this. So however you're going to do it, but opposite. And I like to put it, stand on the opposite side, face it, and put it on the right. Doesn't matter, you can do it on the left. But that's all you do. And then you take redstone, and you can run the redstone however you want, as long as it goes to the repeater. That whatever repeater, if it opens, would push over top of that is the one that it has to go to. So, and just to show you, this won't work. Going like this. Actually, it would power this one, I'm pretty sure. But this is how this one works. See? It's not powering this one, it's powering that one. Because the redstone leads to it. If I break this, go like this, and then put it down, it'll push it around. And this is creating a clock. And you can actually slow this clock down, just like before. But this one you can only get to 16 ticks. Or no, you can still get this one to 20 because the piston is a tick. Each piston has a tick delay between it getting signal and then actually pushing the block to the next point. But then you can always go into this and add more repeaters. And you can run redstone off of this, like this. And power something and off here and power something. Only problem is if you do this, where you link them, this has a longer delay than this, so that doesn't work. And this created a bud switch, which now might as well be a good time to say it. A bud switch stands for block update detector. So right now this is on, but it's not moving. So if I were to put a block, say here, it'll update and it will turn on. And I can just reset this real quick. And it's still a bud switch. And anywhere within the vicinity of the piston. So if I were to put it there, can't put it here, but if I were to break this redstone, I could go here, here, on top of it, and underneath of it. So if I break that, it starts it again. It's detecting any change around it. You can use this for like wheat growing, or I can show that real quick. I don't know. I can use that. I need this. This. No, wrong one. This. Alright. So now create the bud switch. Which there's other ways to create bud switch. I'll show that. And then just grow this real quick. Some bone meal. I gotta find it. There, that's a bud. And each stage would create a bud switch, so it's not really feasible. Alright, so I'm going to stop this one. Ooh, nighttime. And light. Heh, funny. Alright, now I'll move on to all the different gates. I don't know if you've ever seen a RedStone tutorial or anything where they say gate, and gate, or gate, not gate, nor, NAND, all these. They're all different types of gates, which means, like, for example, an AND gate would be like this. Don't know why I grabbed two. Be like that. Or, no, this is an OR gate. OR gate. So either one. If either side is on, any of them, you can do up to, I think that's it. I know you could power from underneath. If you were to put like that and then change that. Alright. So right now it's on. This output would be on. But it turn this side on, it goes off. This one on, it goes off. On, off. On to off. Same thing if you hit this, that goes off. That's because that's powering this block, which is depowers that. Because power off. If you power a lit torch, it turns it off, which will come in handy very much. But alright, so that's an OR gate. Now, we can move to the AND gate. And an AND gate is the opposite. Both inputs have to be on to change the output. So, like this. This is how it's built, although you can build it other ways, and I'll show those. Well, I'll show the one that I know. Alright, so this is the output. That's an input, and that's an input. That goes off, that's still off, because this one's still powering it. You have to turn that off, and then that goes on. but it's not necessarily in that order. This one goes back on, that goes off. So if it's like, this is from an RS NOR, which I'll show later. Actually, I can do that next. And this one is a button. There. Now it's on, and then it goes back off. This is normally used if you want to like lock a door, but you want two inputs. So like, say you have two different spots. One that's real secret, and then like a button next to your door. So you can lock up your door. That's what that would be used for. Alright, and then an RS NOR latch is a memory cell. Takes 9 blocks doing it horizontal. Put a torch opposite on each block, and then redstone running up the blocks. Now, you actually don't need it on top, but I like to, just to be sure. But if you're doing this survival, you may not want to do that. So if this block receives power in any way this block receives power, it's going to shut off that torch, which allows this one to turn on, which prevents this one from coming on. See, break. See, it stays. This is normally used in like computers, or maybe it's like it's the same thing as like a button, but or a lever, but like with a button. But this would be an example of a vertical, because now this goes off, because this drops and then powers this block. Not really sure how that works, because normally it has to point to it. They changed the redstone mechanics a little bit. Alright, and then now there's this. So power. That goes off, which allows this to go on, which powers this, which stops that from going off. And then also you can do this with pistons or sticky pistons, where do that, and then that, and that. So this is only 4 wide, 4 by 1 by 2? Yeah, 2. 4 by 1 by 2. So that's powered. And this one's powered. And then redstone on top. So in actuality, it's 3 blocks tall because of the redstone. You can't put a block directly there. It'll go up 1. But then this block powers. No matter where you go with this, it'll power. This block will. That one. And then just bricks and redstone. Oh. Alright. Yeah, breaking that block is very bad, because then these two pistons push together. But if you power this block, either one of these 2 top blocks, or this redstone on top, that switches. And switches because I figured this out. A powered piston doesn't have a delay. Or has a longer delay than a not powered. Right now this is powered, but for whatever reason, because of the whole, this one's being pushed back by this one, a piston can't move a powered piston, so it switches. This goes back, this goes on. It's kind of hard to explain, but that's another RS NOR. Except that one is more of a switch. That's an easier way of turning a button into a lever, because then you just hit it again and it'll switch back. But that takes a lot more resources, obviously. Okay, so next is the NOT gate, which is just really simple. Just that. It's whatever, it's just an opposite. So normally you'd have power like this, and then if this block gets powered, it switches. It's for making simple things like just inverting a signal for whatever reason, or before repeaters were invented, or not invented, put into the game, this is how you had to repeat signals. You had to do 2 NOT gates. So right now, power, still powered. But if you turn the power off, power goes off. But you wouldn't waste time by going like this. You would run it 15 blocks up to this. This would be your 15th block. And then out of that, 15 blocks, and then you would put this one. Unless you needed to stop it within those 15 blocks. Then you'd put this one before. I still remember no repeaters. I think there was no repeaters. There may have been. I don't remember. I started in Minecraft 1.4. I don't remember if we had pistons, or I know we didn't have pistons. I don't remember if we had repeaters back then. But okay. Now is a NAND gate, which is the opposite of an AND gate, if nobody picked that up. So basically, it's just this. So, both inputs have to be off for it to be off. So you can do this with a door as well. For whatever reason you put the door down wrong or whatever. Or you can just do it the exact opposite where you would, because right now, alright, so you have to power both, and that would shut the door. Yeah, powering both shuts the door. So it's just a switch. It's one less redstone torch, but it's one extra redstone, so it saves you a stick. So, not that big of a difference. NOR gate is the same thing as an OR gate, but it has... Did I do an OR gate? Or did I know? I think I did a NOR gate. Alright, well, I'll do both again real quick. This is a NOR gate. I think this is the one I did. Powered, non-powered. This is an OR gate. Oh wait, with 2. Same thing with the NOR. This is an OR. Either way, it's on. You break that first one and put a redstone torch. It's a NOR gate. Same thing, except one is a NOR or a NOT, but with 2 inputs. Alright, an XOR. Now this is where it starts to get a little complicated. This is a device which activates when only one input is on. And I am reading this off an app on my phone. This one works like this. And I'm just going to use that block that's already there. Oh, one further. Alright. This is an XOR. Oops. Oh wow, wrong spot. 7 torches. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, I had it right last time. You can do this with 6. Sorry. 6 redstone. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 redstone. And this one is either one gets powered, that input changes. So if this is the output, it goes in between them, it goes on. Normally, it's off. But if both are on, back here, it's still off, due to this. The way this one works is, these torches won't power this. That's what prevents these from turning this off. That's how going like this, or going like that. Wait, oh, never mind. Those won't power this line. Only these can power this line, because they're up top. And then this, all three of these torches will power these two lines. This one powers this one, this powers this one, this powers both. And then goes up and powers these blocks. So that powers this one, and that's what turns that off. Or on. Yeah, off. When that's powered, this goes off. So when one side's powered, that's what allows that side to go on. And without this part and the torches there, that's just another AND gate. Just uses an extra redstone and an extra block, but sometimes that comes in handy if you're covering something. And then without even deleting all this, I'll move on to the XNOR, which just adds one extra block, like this. There. And then this is the output. So you can get an output on these two. You can always run that to somewhere else. So this is, both inputs are the same, it's on. But if they're different, they go off. Just slight differences. And I can show a good representation of that real quick. Ignore the name. Alright, if I can get to it real quick. No! Bad. There we go. Alright. Gotta go up here. This little house that I've made, which is a lot of my mods. All my mod videos are with this. Actually, I started this with when I downloaded Pokemons, which was so much fun, and then they ruined it with all their new stuff. And then expanded it. But alright, this is an XNOR. And this one is for my piston door that I have in my house. There's a lever there which runs up and powers this. So if that one gets switched, it turns this off, all this off, which turns this on, which turns this off, which then turns all this off, and underneath of here runs another piston, which opens the door. And then I get to the other side and turn that one on, turn that lever on, which then turns off that one, which turns on that, which then turns that off again. Turning that off allows that to go on, which turns both of those off, which turns it back on. That's what it does. Alright. Go back to my other world. And show you my counter that I've never seen anybody do. So I am going to take credit for it, because I thought that up in school a couple days ago. If anybody came up with it before me, I'm sorry that I took credit for it. I did not see it anywhere. So just let me know. But how it works is it uses RS NORs and sticky pistons with repeaters. So what you do is, here's your first RS NOR, and I'm going to say here's the second. And I'm just going to do two, but you can repeat this as many times as you need. Go there, and go there, there, there. And you can do this in any direction, doesn't really matter. You can do this with verticals, it's just a little bit harder. And if somebody wants me to, PM me and I'll show you how to do that. I'm actually going to reverse these. Now it works. Alright, so say this one gets powered. And what would happen is, oh wait, no, I need to reverse this one too. Like that. I need to power this block, so I'm just going to use a torch for it. Alright, well there, it's powered. We switched it. So I'll turn it back. Oh, wrong one. Alright, there. In doing so, that lights this up, which then you go like this and put piston down, and it takes 8 ticks. So 2 repeaters all the way. You can do any amount of repeaters, no more than 8, as long as they're only on 1 or 2 or a combination, whatever. And then go like that. And then this gets a repeater. Oh wait, no, it's gotta go out one more. Goes like this. Alright, so if I just put, actually I'll even use a button just to prove that it works like that. Now you can't use a lever and leave it on, that'll activate them in strings. So you go like this, and you hit the button, and it powers that, but you can see this one didn't change. It'll power that, which you only need that so it'll go through this block the second time you click it. But this didn't change, but this did. It powered this block, which allowed it to switch, which then turned on this piston. But because of the long delay there, which you can make it as long as you want, it doesn't really matter, it just has to be a minimum of 8. It may even be 7, but 8 just to be safe. But once you click it again, this can't change from this side. You have to power it from that side. Then you power this, it goes through the block. You can power one solid block at a time. And I'll show you a very good harvesting idea that uses that with pumpkins and melons and cacti. No, pumpkins and melons, that's it. Powers the block, goes through into this repeater, which then goes into this block, which changes it. So that's that. And then, alright, I'll do the pumpkin real quick. Alright, so I need a hoe. And the exact same thing works with melons. It doesn't matter which way you do it. As long as you use pumpkins or melons, this will work. And I don't take credit for this one at all. This was not my idea. I'm saying that very clearly because I've had people get mad at me before. So what you do is you plant them every other block. And no. Alright, well, you know what? Then I'm just going to do 3. Works with any amount, as long as you can get the power back to the pistons, which shouldn't be a problem. Because it's every other block, as I said. And what you can do to prevent them from spawning there is go like this. And then you can just run it again from this side. The only problem with that is it has to grow all on the same side. So what I did when I was building this was, on one of my worlds, I built it in 2s. So they were back to back. so I don't get screwed over again. Like this. And then put them here. And for whatever reason, you have to jump to put repeaters below you. Which is kind of stupid. Alright. So you go like this and connect them. But I'm not going to connect them right there. So right here, you need a piston. Piston can go 2 blocks. 1. So 3. Oh, you don't need stickies now. Actually, stickies will kill you. You need this kind. You need a regular piston for this. Dirt. Oh, don't want it there. Alright, Alright, so to do that, now, again, I'm only doing 3, but you can do more. Sorry if somebody thinks I'm being repetitive. I am. But doing that because people have gotten mad at me before for not being repetitive. Seriously. One thing I will say, at least these don't grow extra high, so you can go like this. Alright, now you do, hold on, I gotta think about this. Alright. Now, this one works a little bit more with the newer physics of these, but I think this still works. I don't remember if it does or not. But now, when they grow, it'll push that side's piston. It'll push all the pistons down. At least it's supposed to. Hope it does. Alright, so you just go like this. Need 1. So when this grows, which I forgot to do that. Now, because these things never grow in the proper order, let me go and I'm going to grab a pumpkin. I'm going to put it there. Because, I mean, that's likely. And then, it'll probably grow over here next. But then maybe there. And then maybe over here. It'll grow back in the middle. Alright, there. It just broke every single one. Which it shouldn't have broken the middle. I don't know why it broke the middle. Didn't break this one. Which actually had a pump. I don't know. If it breaks the middle, I don't know what to tell you. But there, that works. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that. Alright, not sure next. Oh, that 1 tick delay. Okay. I'm actually going to explain it this time. Alright. So, that's what you need. It only takes 4 blocks. 1 redstone torch, 1 repeater, so 3 torches. Oh, sorry, 4 torches. Forgot about that one. and then that, and then there. And then however you're going to power it. And what happens is, and actually I can show one more thing that's nice, that you can use with sticky pistons. You can make sticky pistons push a block. Oh wait, that's not going to do anything. Do this again. The whole make sure it doesn't pop test. If it were to pop, that would mean this got pulled back down. If it doesn't pop off, it should be on this block in this position still. Sorry, I was just pointing at the screen. It should still, this block should be in this position with this redstone torch. If this pops off, that got pulled back down. It won't get pulled back down. And I'm going to do this twice. I'm going to do it once, like this, where I remain powering, which it still only does one tick. And then I'm going to put another one on top. And then again, where I just break it. There, it still does one tick. And what's happening is this going off is one tick. It's exactly one tick, which then allows all this redstone to turn on. And then this is a 3-tick delay. So 1 tick goes on, 2 tick, this is still a 2nd tick, this is on, and then it's 3rd tick, this goes off. So that creates 1 tick. And then even if it's powered, which that just grabbed it this time, instead of pushing it, this one will stay off because of this. So it's not going to let it be on, even if this is off. But then you go like this. It doesn't create the 1 tick because this goes off and this goes on at the same time. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to stop it there. If I think of any more, I'll throw it up somewhere. So that's it. Just stopping everything.